All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. For some days now, northern Nigerians have been the major people talking about the End Bad Governance nationwide protest. But things took a different route few hours ago in southwest Nigeria. For a while, some government officials from Southwest have been playing the ethnic card online. They have been preaching to Yorubas to boycott the protest, claiming that the man in power is a Yoruba man and therefore must be defended by Yorubas at all costs. When that idea became stale, they moved to saying Igbos were the mastermind of the protest, and it is all because Peter Obi was not declared winner of the presidential election last year. But the Southeast made it clear that they won't participate in the protest, and that rendered that accusation against the Igbos useless. And many Yoruba youths were quiet about the protest until few hours ago when some Yoruba government officials, led by TINUBU's aide and special assistant on social media, began an online war against protesters. And Yorubas from left, right, and center, seeing this, came down heavily on this aid and the Tinubu administration as a whole. Before I show you how Tinubu's aid started that online battle and how Yorubas gave it back to him and the administration, let me quickly show you this video. This video shows a senior advocate of Nigeria from the Yoruba race already vindicating protesters and pointing out government as the authors and schemers of violence against peaceful protesters in any protest and not the other way around. And this is coming after Governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, reiterated that there is hunger in the land, leaving the Oba of Lagos as the only prominent man from Southwest who has openly opposed this protest. Could it be that many prominent Yorubas endorse this protest? Let's take a look at this video by Femi Falana.
Young people or workers have never gone out determined to engage in violence all the time. Violence had always occurred going back to the 70s when students are shot, unarmed students are shot. The last time, people are now destroying our history, distorting our history by saying, oh, in 2020, young people were violent. No. The young people took part in the protest, in the NSAS protest, gathered in different places. In a place like Lagos, they gathered in Alausa at the Secretariat. They also gathered at Lekki. And they were singing and discussing among themselves. People were giving them food. What happened was that the attack on the youth started in Alausa here when a notorious transporter in Lagos, a notorious union leader, sent his thugs to attack the unarmed youths in Alausa. They overpowered the thugs, but the police did not arrest or charge them. The same thing happened in Abuja, in Benin, in Port Harcourt and other places. And until the government decided to unleash people you call hoodlums and thugs on the young people. When that did not work, the government sent troops, armed soldiers, to engage in killing of young people. In 1 week, about 99 people were killed in Lagos. I don't want to talk about Ogbomoso, Ibadan, Port Harcourt, and Benin, and other places where young people were shot at, where young people were killed. So the violence that characterized the end of the NSAS protest was instigated and fueled and sponsored by the government. This time around,
you heard him. This time around, they have planned to do the same thing they did during the NSAS. That was Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, there, setting the record straight. The NSAS protesters were peaceful. The government saw the power of the protest and decided to unleash hoodlums on traders in Lagos, then turned around to blame the entire destruction on NSAS protesters. That is what they have planned to do again this time around. That is why the people called it a peaceful protest, but every single government representative that has spoken spoke about violence. And the people are saying they have been holding back from violence, but if hoodlums are unleashed, they won't be spared this time around. When your citizens are out to say they can no longer continue to buy petrol at 700 naira per litre, that it should go back to 250 naira per litre, I don't see how this should lead to violence. When citizens say they no longer want two chambers in the National Assembly, that they want just one chamber and the lawmakers must be on minimum wage, this is a patriotic demand. How should this engender violence? If the protests say you should sell the private jet you bought, sell all the SUVs, everything, and use the money, invest the money into agriculture, these are very good demands for the economy. How should this lead to violence? If protesters are saying we want so and so items enforced in the electoral laws so that we can have credible elections henceforth, that is very democratic. It shouldn't bring violence. Violence can only come when the government decides to be anti-people and anti-democracy and refuses to listen to the people and instead tells security forces to disperse them forcefully, which should never be the case. So, to ensure that we have peace, let us allow the principles of democracy to reign. And democracy is a government of the people. So whatever the people say should be adopted. Point blank, period. Now, let us look at that update involving Tinubu's aide and how he was countered by angry Yorubas. Please, I want you to follow me very carefully on this one. This guy right here, this guy on your screen, his name is Dada Olusegun. He is an aide to Tinubu and his special advisor on social media. He came out a few hours ago and began trying to trend the hashtag Defend Nigeria. According to him, those calling for the End Bad Governance protest are enemies of Nigeria who want to burn down the country, and that other Nigerians should rise against them in defense of the country and in support of Tinubu. And with his Twitter handle, Daddy DO, he tweeted this: hashtag Defend Nigeria from all those who seek to destroy it. They want to gaslight you that this is part of peaceful protest. They want to use your justified anger to burn down the country to the ground. Don't let them. Then he attached a couple of tweets that he found offensive. And as soon as he made that call on his official handle, Yorubas took to his handle and began to remind him how he, the same Dada Olusegun, called for protest against the Jonathan regime. I'm going to share some of his old tweets as posted by Yorubas who are ready to protest against Tinubu's government, and you will marvel that a man who said all that is now angry that others want to protest because he is now an aide and senior assistant to the government. Let's check out some of his tweets. J.A. Olaoye here posted some of his tweets. He said, and these two, Daddy D.O., this same Dada Olusegun, tweeted this during the Jonathan regime. He said, if you know any policeman, advise him not to take shooting orders from anyone. If anyone is shot during our protest, the killer dies. No mercy. This is the same man who is saying that people should not, embark on a peaceful protest. The same Daddy D.O. tweeted as dropped by Mr. Olaoye. Special shout out to that policeman that will shoot me when I protest. Your corpse and that of your kids will be eaten by dogs. This same man is now an aide and special assistant to Tinubu, and he's saying Nigerians should not protest. And Tunji Michael Fatoki here replied to that his original post. He said, you did worse than this, Egbon. They are still calling him Egbon because he's someone that is very popular online. He has always been known as an advocate of the people. But now listen to what he's saying. And in response to his call for people to defend Nigeria, Duke of Africa posted this tweet. He, the same Dada D.O., tweeted, when peaceful change is impossible, violent change becomes inevitable. We protest peacefully and you throw tear gas. Prepare for war. This was another thing he tweeted under the Jonathan regime. He tweeted here again. He said, "Good luck, Ebele Jonathan is a fool and an idiot. We will protest. Yes, we will. Wake up, people. Let's go." This man is now an aide to TINUBU and is asking Nigerians not to protest. And Adeoluwa replied him. He said, "You are an hypocrite." Yemi of Lagos blasted him. He said, "Justified anger, you say? Yes, Nigerians' anger is justified in the same way it was justified during Occupy Nigeria protest against Goodluck Jonathan. Protest is happening, no going back. Hashtag end bad governance in Nigeria." And Fagbemi also replied him. He said, "Olori ibu ni gbogbo yin ni APC. People should die of hunger, abi. Ayé yín máa bàjẹ́ ni àti àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí yín." This one is cursing the entire APC. He said God will punish them and all their family members, asking Nigerians not to protest. And Oluwasegun said, "Àmì àṣẹ." He said, "Amen" to those curses. And Omoba said, "Bring it on, Obo Ole." Omoba said, "Okay, defend Nigeria. Bring your people. Let them face us on the protest streets. You monkey, you thief." And Adeniran Sheriff said, "Emma Shofoni." He said, "Bring it on. All of you are going to be wasted." And another ready S.WEST protester tweeted this. He said, "Why are you afraid of protest today?" Then he proceeded to attach some of these tweets by the same Daddy D.O., where he wrote, "Bit by bit, they are taking away from us the right to protest, the right to air our grievances. Let us reject it vehemently." The same Daddy D.O. that is asking people not to protest now. And then he also tweeted, "Maybe we don't need peaceful protest anymore." This is the worst of all his tweets, where he encouraged people to go violent. And the same person is saying that some people want to burn the country down. And Adesina Oyedele here say, "Protest against hunger, they make you cry. Are you happy with the hunger in the land?" Of course, he is now eating. And Hajj Ayelabowo replied him. He said, "Egbon, your mouth they smell." This one still they call him Egbon, but he they curse am join. And Adeogun Oluseshi says, "He be like say craze dey this guy head." I'm telling you, definitely craze dey in head. To know that you have said this all in the past on the internet that never forgets, and you are the person now coming out to champion a cause against protest, this is a lost battle already. There is nobody in the APC camp, no matter how stupid they are, that will see this update and see all these attached tweets from this guy and will encourage him to continue talking about defend Nigeria. They have to look for someone else to try to sell that stupid narrative, not this total idiot called Dada Olusegun. By and large, there are three major takeaways from this video. Number one, government is planning a counter protest, and they might be planning it in all the 36 states of the Federation. I'm not sure, but it is obvious now that they are planning a counter protest. I don't know the youths that are going to yield themselves up for that kind of thing. People are looking at how we can make Nigeria better. People are looking at how we can reduce this suffering, because this suffering is too much. How will you now stand up and say those people should go and sit down? How much are they going to pay you, and how long is that money going to last in your hands? Well, that is up to them. The second takeaway is the unwavering resolve from many Yorubas to embark upon this protest. We have seen that in this video. And number three, we have seen that prominent Yorubas have not come out to speak against this protest, meaning they might be in support of the protest. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed and see how this plays out eventually. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go away.